Current series of talks is about how shame or tamasic energy we have associated with the left side of the tree of life. That's limits, that's restriction, that's fear, that's negative adaptive child in Eric Berne's model. And then on the right side, rajas, ambition, desire, negative free child in Eric Berne's model. But what I want to do today is talk about this in the context of the modern world is going way fast. There's so many things we have to do. It could be, we have to do our taxes, we have to pay our bills, we have to get reports in for work, we have to deal with our clients or our boss, or both. Family obligations. Maybe even things that are involving entertainment or planning or predicting. And a good way to be the ideal parental figure, again, that's from Eric Berne's model, to yourself is to say, not just one day at a time, but one step at a time, one thing at a time. Overwhelm comes when we think, I've got to do all these things at once, but you can't do more than one thing at a time. And you look at each individual thing. Are any of those things rocket science? Like literally, are you a rocket engineer? Are you doing brain surgery? Have you done it before? Like taxes, or writing a report, or dealing with a client's need, or dealing with a boss, or dealing with family obligations. Each one of those things, most likely, not always, but each one of those things you probably have done it before. And if you haven't done it, there's probably a YouTube video about it. So it's really just a question of time, the time it takes, and the need to be perfect, those two things. But if there's been shame, or if there's a desire for pride, then we may lose sight of the ideal parental figure. We may think, I've got to do everything perfectly, and I've got to do everything now. If you let go of that need, and universe willing, or if you believe in God, God willing, you will let go of that. In my current book, I'm writing about UPPDL, which is unavoidable polarization of the projection of divine light. So what is divine light? I have no idea. But it's the totality, it's the bardo, it's the formlessness, it's the infinite. Like our sun, that light shines on the universe. It makes everything move. It's the energy of movement. But it itself is not moving. The source is not moving. At least this is the model that I'm using right now. So if we associate ourselves with doing, then we're going to polarize with the left side of the tree, which is the tamasic, negative adaptive child, restraint, fear, limits. Or we're going to go to the other extreme, which is the rajasic side, the right side of the tree. That's the negative free child. That's the ambition and desire. If you engage in one or the other side, which is most people most of the time, the other side is waiting to take over. The other side is waiting for its opportunity to then prove that it can provide value. There's no peace in that. So if we're mindful that whenever one side or the other is asserting itself, we want to hand it over, surrender. My book talks about different ways of doing that. And if you're religious, then you can just hand it over to God. If you're not religious, then you can hand it over to this unavoidable polarization of projected divine light. Whatever any of that is, I don't know. But you just use the metaphor that things get split apart into Roy G. Biv. Roy, red, orange, yellow, can be associated with the right side, the rajasic. Biv, blue, indigo, violet, can be associated with the left side, tamasic. And right in the middle, that's the green zone. That's where, God willing or universe willing, we can be.